Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have some sad news about the teenager who jumped overboard on a dare and went missing. We have an update on that Conman who was pretending he was a cruise ship captain and scammed a lot of people, including his closest friends. Also, we have a bunch of passengers who are reporting some pretty ominous stuff coming about the Carnival Sunshine as they apparently sailed through hurricane-force winds to the point where the cruise ship was basically not moving and being blown side to side, with hallways being flooded, crew having to evacuate their cabins, and a lot of people sick. Some people are calling foul on this cruise. First, a story on that teenager, 18 years old, who was on the pirate celebration. He was on like a pirate ship, one of those excursions in the Bahamas, and he jumped overboard on a dare. He could be seen splashing around the water and unfortunately has disappeared. The ship and the crew stayed there looking for him. They called the Coast Guard. They launched a search. Well, the Coast Guard has now officially called off the search for the young teenager. Sad news, and again, just a warning that fun and games until somebody gets hurt. And I cannot imagine being those friends who actually dared that person to jump overboard. How do they feel today? Not to mention the family and friends. Again, condolences to everybody. It's one of those things that's just hard to fathom. Next, we also have that story on the cruise ship captain, Jody Oliver, who conned people by putting on a captain's hat, putting on a captain's jacket, and pretending to be a cruise ship captain working for P&O Cruise Line, where he scammed people out of life savings for special cruise deals, that they thought they were getting these special treatments and everything. Apparently he's been a con man for quite a while. He has a gambling addiction. That's why he's a con man, basically, to pay for his own gambling debts. And, well, he was in court and he was found finally guilty. Now, here's the thing. He stole, from all accounts of just these people who got, he was found and was caught with 6 charges. And it totaled around 277,000 pounds, so $300 and some thousand in money that he ripped off from people. And his entire fine that these people have to share amongst each other are 377 pounds, so $500, if give or take $1. The reason it's so low is not because the judge didn't want to give them more money. It's because that's all the money they have. There is no money in his accounts. He has no house, no car. Everything's been gone. And yeah, he's been frauding people to live up to his gambling addiction. And he has a history of scamming people. He scammed one of the race car drivers in Europe, thinking that a sponsorship from a big company was going to give him a $3 million contract, and he was scamming that race car driver and company. Just kind of a scummy person. The worst part about this is that it didn't matter who he did. Close friends, family members, strangers, it didn't matter. He conned them all. And some people, in this world, most people, you give the credit, you give the benefit of the doubt. Well, there's people like this that are just plain bad people. And he deserves whatever he gets in prison. All I'm saying. Okay, now the story, the Carnival Sunshine. This story is a little crazy because when I first saw this story, it was reported as the Carnival Sunshine is going to be delayed getting back to Charleston because of some rougher seas, which is normal. If there's some rougher seas, they can't go as fast and they're delayed a little bit. getting back to the port. Well, now pictures are coming out from that little delayed that they were in, getting back on Saturday. And what it was like, apparently the winds were up to 80 miles per hour, tossing the ship from side to side. People were being sick in the hallways. Stuff was thrown all over the cruise ship. Stores, all the bottles in the liquor stores were all on the floor. Crew center, the crew had to be evacuated from their cabins and were up in the theater sleeping. The crew center bar area and everything was closed. You couldn't go up on the top deck, and you were basically at a standstill in the middle of the ocean trying to fight the waves and the wind to get back to port. Kind of a scary night, and it begs the question, as some people out there were saying that this should never have happened, because why did we sail into a storm like that? And here's what one person posted on social media, saying, "Blank and scared." YouTube won't let me say that word, folks. "The ship is still stop. No communication from the captain or staff. TV is out with message, public announcement, please stand by. The winds are hurricane gale force. The ship is leaning to the left. I believe the captain was trying to outrun the storm. Bad decision. I'm sure we'll be breaking news tomorrow." You don't want to be breaking news on any cruise ship unless it's you just broke a world record. Other people also posted saying to confirm this, that no communication were given to guests for over 12 hours during this event and this storm. And that is not good. Second of all, questions are now being called into why they sailed into an oncoming storm, knowing that the storm was there. The Weather Center was showing the storm there. Why did they not delay? And a lot of people are saying, well, these are shorter cruises, and that's why they had to get back to port, because they had another short cruise coming up afterwards. They had to get people on board so they don't miss out on that money. And that's a reputation you don't want. You don't want a reputation where you're endangering the safety of people for money. But that's what the story is coming out from people on board, which is not good. I'm not necessarily saying that. No cruise line out there wants to have a headline of a lost ship at sea. It will devastate your cruise company, especially if it's found that you purposely sailed into a storm when you probably shouldn't have. So I don't believe they were doing it on purpose, but I think they did get caught. I think they got caught in a storm that they didn't expect to be that severe, and they perhaps thought they could outrun it. Not necessarily a great call indeed. Now, Carnival did respond with a typical statement where the Carnival spokesperson said, "The Carnival Sunshine's return to Charleston was impacted by the weather and rough seas on Saturday. Guests on board the ships were safe. Our medical staff helped a small number of guests and crew who needed minor assistance." And that's it. That's a pretty standard, pat answer. That's not going to answer the question where people are calling on, why did you sail into the storm? And I'm sure that there's going to be some lawsuits, complaints, requests for refunds, and et cetera, coming from this cruise. I'm sure people out there who, if you were on that and you were scared for your life and everything, I'm sure you might just hear a lawsuit of, basically stating distress, etc. And we'll have to hear more about this in the future. What do you guys think? You often hear about cruise ships staying out at sea. Now, they do get caught in weather. It's inevitable, right? You're sailing the oceans. The weather is all over the place. They will always do their best to get around the weather as much as possible. But sometimes you get caught in a storm, and sometimes the storm turns worse than was expected. And so I've been in many storms like that, on the hurricane force typhoon winds, been there, done that. But yeah, it is a scary situation if you are, first of all, nervous to be on a cruise ship to begin with, and have never experienced something like that before in your life. What do you guys think? Do you think this should never have happened? Do you think they just got caught? Or do you think they were just trying to save that money? That's a headline going around that no cruise line wants. Money over safety. That is not a headline you want to see. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.